With summer approaching, right now is the perfect time to take care of your trees and make sure that your lawn looks amazing. And today we're getting tree tips from Greg Osborn, who is the owner of the Fort Wayne Monster Tree Service. Hi, Greg.
Hello there.
Welcome.
How are you?
Doing well, thank you. So this topic is interesting. So we hear about gardening and how to keep our grass and lawns corrected, but tree service is a whole thing.
Absolutely.
Yes.
So yeah, very similar, care needed. People water their lawns and think about that, but maybe not so much with their trees.
Right. And so your business, which you have owned for now 7 years,
Yes.
which is great, offers these services. So let's start off by talking about your business, and then we'll dive into the tips.
Okay, yeah, we started in early 2016 providing general tree care, pruning, removals, stump grinding, things like that. And in recent years had started plant health care. That's treating disease and insect problems, and that's something that a lot of people don't think about.
Right. Yes, because when you said healthcare, I'm like, oh, healthcare of trees. That makes sense. They could get diseases and get sick and need medicine and cures. So that's great. So let's start off by, when people have trees in their front or backyards, what are basic tips that they can use to maintain them?
Okay, as you know, we've now entered summer officially. We've seen these 90-degree days, and it looks like we're on track for many more. But like I mentioned before, people water their yards but don't think about watering their trees, and they need approximately 10 gallons per inch in diameter. So on a large tree, that could quickly deplete the water from the yard quickly.
Yeah. Because the roots are down there, and so you're right, we don't think about watering the tree. So is it a matter of watering the roots, or are we going all the way up and down the tree bark?
Just the ground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, just the ground. And so, so that's a basic tip. So making sure that that is watered. What else can people do to maintain their trees themselves?
So mulch around the tree, ideally would be all the way out to the drip line, but that's not very practical in most cases. You'd have a front yard or a yard full of mulch. That can greatly help retain water around the tree, just so long as it's not too deep.
Right. What is mulch? That is that loose, is that the brown stuff?
Yeah, it's tree, shredded tree debris, yeah.
Okay. And so does the care really differentiate depending on the type or the size of the tree? I mean, what if you have a baby tree that you're just getting started, or one that has bloomed or grown so big?
Small, new, not established trees take a lot more water, especially this time of year. And then mature trees also require, as they decline, a lot more care as well.
Okay. And so let's talk maybe food. Okay, so is there tree food? How do they receive their nourishment?
Through the soil, typically. Our Indiana clay can be a problem for certain species. There are fertilizers for consumers, but I don't think the quality is that great. So that's something that a professional probably should take care of.
Yeah, and so let's segue to that. So we can do steps to maintain our trees ourselves at home, but when is it time to seek a professional and ask for their help in the maintenance?
So if you see discoloration in the leaves, either on the outsides of the leaves, or the whole leaves are yellow, have spots, those are some indications that you should call a professional.
Okay, so because the tree could be sick.
Yeah, or just not getting the nutrition that it may need.
Yeah, and so when it comes to other things, let's say the branches and the leaves, is it a thing to remove them, to pluck them, to kind of do what we do with flowers that kind of have a leaf that's not so healthy anymore?
Yes, but there's quite a difference between trimming shrubs and pruning trees. If you don't make proper cuts, it can create more of a problem.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. And so when you work with your clients, do you first go out and do an assessment, or do you just come and just get started on what you see when you arrive?
No, so we will ask the customer what they're looking to have done, and then give our recommendation from there, maybe adding or taking away from what they asked.
Okay. And how frequent is the maintenance of a tree? Like, how often would you go out and treat it?
So with fertilization, it could be, the minimum would be 2 times a year, but up to 4 times, just depending on the status of the tree.
Okay, with fertilization, but what about the rest of it?
For pruning? Okay, for pruning, 3 to 5 years typically. Some that are quicker growing, maybe sooner.
Okay, so that's reasonable. So people can get the service, and it's not as frequent as they would pay someone to tend to their lawn and have that mowed all the time.
Correct.
This is something that, you do frequently, but reasonably.
Yes.
Okay, great. And if someone wants to learn more about your business or set up an appointment with you, where should they go?
To monstertreeservice.com. You can find all our information there. Type in your zip code and find out if we're able to service you.
Service that area. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much, Greg.
Thank you.
I appreciate it. And if you would like more information about Fort Wayne Monster Tree Services, we will have their website listed below, and we'll be right back.